Hey guys! Welcome back. It's me, Aubrey. I am back for the next little chat about stitching. It's April 10th right now, so we are headed towards Easter, which is totally crazy. I can't even believe it, but it's been a little bit. A lot has happened since I was able to... I'm going to put that down. I'm going to keep everyone else like kind of pop that. I'm just going to put that away. Drive you nuts. But a lot has happened since the last time I got to talk to everyone. I mean, market happened, which that was huge. And then just recently, the 24 hours of cross stitch happened, which I did not. I'm a mom of a toddler. I'm sleep deprived enough, and I was working that weekend, so didn't happen for me, but tons of fun to watch everybody that kind of took part and how much progress they got done. People that stayed up all night. I mean, props to you. That was crazy. I can't believe people did that, but I'm like, even when I get tired, I'm like, I'll start to like miss, like, I don't know, I'd be ripping a ton of stuff out if I did that, but so much fun to see everybody's videos and how it went for everyone. So all this stuff happened in just, I think maybe it's been a month and a half, I think. So yeah, something like that. I don't have any haul for this period. I am kind of, well, can't say that. I did get a little bit. I wasn't going to do Mania. I thought, so I'm like, in my brain, I'm thinking, a start a day. I don't have a ton of time daily to cross stitch. So if I did Mania, it'd be like showing progress. It'd be like one little line, like this is what I did on this start, and it would be almost nothing. So I'm like, it doesn't really apply. But then someone had mentioned like, start a week. And I'm like, I can do that. So I am going to do Mania. I'm going to do probably a video right at the end of this month, kind of like showing the charts. I'm still kitting everything up and getting everything set and kind of planning. So I'll do a short video at the end of this month just saying plans and kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do. But I'm either going to do 4 or 5 starts. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't totally decided, but so with that coming, I have bought a little bit of stuff for that. It's not going to be in this video, but I didn't get like any market haul. I am saving, so I'm going to StitchCon the end of June, so I'm kind of saving any money that I might spend on that for a hotel room and any spending money I might want over those few days. So I haven't been buying too much. With market, it was really hard. There were Savior's Praise. Shut up. That's like at the top of my wish list right now. Like, I'm going to get that soon, but not quite yet. So, but there's so many beautiful charts, but I know they'll be there when I'm ready. It doesn't need to happen. It's hard not to jump on the bandwagon and be like, I need, but I chilled out. I just watched everyone, was envious of everybody showing all of their beautiful charts, but they'll be there when I'm ready. So yeah. So no haul. So basically I just have progress to show this time. And then depending on the time, I might do the Know Your Needleworker tag at the end. But I figured I'd show my stuff first. That way, if people don't want to stick around and hear me talk, that is more than fine. And then you can just move on to the next person and just look at the stitching. I have, when I'm at work, sometimes it's funny because I'm like just different personalities. Sometimes people like want to know, they just want to chat the whole time. They want to talk about themselves and they want to talk about me and just the whole time, which is tons of fun. And then other people come in and are just like, just do my hair. I'm going to be quiet. I'm an introvert, so I am more than fine with being quiet. It doesn't bother me at all. So it's just funny to see the different personalities. So I'm very aware that there are probably a good deal of people that don't really care to hear about me, which that is 100% fine. I totally get that. So we'll just jump right into stitching, and yeah, then we'll go on from there. So basically in the last month and a half or so, I've worked on I always say, I think I've noticed a pattern. It's like I kind of tend to work on 3 kind of pieces that I focus on, and then once those kind of build up in my stitching area, then I'm like, okay, it's time to do video because I'm sick of working on these. I want to work on something else, and I don't want to have like 55 things to show you. So yeah, the first one I worked on was something, it's like, I think it's one of my oldest ones, I'm pretty sure. It was the Artiste. I'll just show you. It's the Artiste kit, one of the ones, it's the Hobby Lobby brand. I don't love this one, but I'm too stubborn not to keep working on it. So I think I showed this in my very, very first one. Let me see if, there you go. So I think it's the Acorn Sampler, yep. Acorn Sampler. So it's, I mean, it's pretty. It has basically squirrels, a big tree there. Very pretty. I don't know, there's something about it that I'm not loving. So, but I worked on it for a little bit and then I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Also, I don't know what kind of needle they put in this kit, but it stabbed me. It would go under my skin. It was god awful. But again, too stubborn. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep going with this needle. I don't really care if I bleed all over it. I don't know why I do that, but I just felt the need. So when I first showed it, so it's basically, there you go. So all of the stuff in like that big oval, that was all new. So I was working, maybe that's why I didn't like it. I was working more in like the full coverage area, but I don't mind full coverage. But of course then I put it away and then I took it back out and I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. For some reason I was thinking it was like totally not looking like anything, but now looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's clearly, you can see that's a tree. So the fabric's just the 14 count Aida that came with it. I'm like, I keep saying that I don't love kits, and then someone's like, oh, well, I changed out the fabric, and I mean, my mind exploded. I was like, oh, maybe I'd like kits a lot more if I start getting rid of like some of like the Aida that I don't necessarily like, but this was like my very first one I worked on, so I just, not knowing any better, I just pulled it out and started working away, but yeah, like I said, now I'm like, okay, I can work on this again. Not too bad, but yeah, so that's that one. Not too shabby. I mean, the thread, again, it's a kit, not the best, but if you're not going to be staring at it super up close or anything, I don't really mind it. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. Progress, basically all that from my hand like down was all done, so all that was all brand new. Cute. Okay. Next one, I went back. I don't know if I ever showed the hedgehog. A while ago, there's like a hedgehog stitch along. I always laugh because I'm like, oh yeah, the stitch-alongs kind of come and go, but I started it. So this one's actually great to travel with because I can stitch in hand, but I can't do the linens, or I can only do the Aidas in hand so far, at least. That's because it's like a little stiffer. So I'm like, it's nice when you don't have to travel with like a Q-snap and you can just throw it in. I don't have any project bags yet. It's almost like a can of worms I don't want to open. Like when I first started stitching, I worked with Aida, and then I started doing like the nicer fabrics, and then that's all you can stitch on because it's so much better. So I haven't gotten project bags. I'm like, oh my gosh, one more thing to collect and spend money on, which so many people make them and they're so freaking pretty. I just hopped into Amazon and got like these cheapo little plastic, excuse me, with the little like button snap, but it keeps everything together and a little bit neat. I need to come up with better organization where I kind of stitch and everything, but it keeps everything a little bit more contained. So traveling, I can just grab this. I'm out the door. I'm good to go. So let me show you. So it was the two hedgehogs I've been working on. Whoop. Sorry, there's a glare. There you go. So I've been working on those two little guys. They're really cute. And I think last time I only had part of that. I mean, the middle was kind of that mushroom, unfortunately. So it wasn't, I was working on it. I'm like, I don't like this. It's weird. The mushroom's orange. Like when that's all you see, it looks really kind of crazy. But, so I worked more on the mushroom. Again, none of these are iron because I just didn't. Yeah, so I kind of started the little hedgehog guy. Let me cover my face. It's really creepy. Yeah, so that's kind of coming along. And once I started working on the hedgehog, I was like, okay, you can kind of see his two little ears there. So I feel like now, like once a picture starts to come up, then it's easier to work on things because you can kind of see where you're going. When you first start someone and you only have like that done, it's just like, what am I doing? Why? I don't know. I can't get into it. I have a hard time. So, but now it's fun. I was sick of doing all the neutrals, so I did a little bit of that green there just to switch it up. I couldn't take it. And again, this is just the 14 count, the kit Aida. So, but this one doesn't bother me. The other one, like that Acorn Sampler, it's kind of scratchy. It just doesn't feel really great. This is at least a little softer. It's a riolis kit. So, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Usually their stuff is just a little, I don't mind the riolis kits at all. So that is that guy. And then last time when I kind of had some haul last time and I didn't know what one I was going to start. I started hoity-toity, and I have not been able to put that down. That's basically all I've been working on, probably for the better part of a month, I would say. I got nice fabric to go with it. It's just good. Maybe it's because of a pattern I've been like waiting on, but I am just totally obsessed. It's coming along. It just comes along beautifully, and it's been a ton of fun to stitch. So that's like my final one project I've been working on. So for those of you that don't know, hold on, I'll get there one day. I'll pull up the picture. I feel like probably a lot of you know what hoity-toity is, and you're like, you don't really need to show me, but it's a long dog. So this is hoity-toity. Let me pull it back a little bit. There you go. So that is it in all of its glory. It is super, super pretty. I have gotten the first full page done. I got all finished, and then, because it's 3 across, so I decided to work down, because if you work across, it's symmetrical, so you'll kind of be doing the same thing kind of quickly. And I thought I'd get bored, but I'll just show you. So this is as far as I got on that. Whoops. There you go. So I am just absolutely, I love the colors. I am stitching it on, I got 32 count Sandcastle Jobelin, which when I got it, of course, when you look at, I got it off of 1, 2, 3 stitch. When I saw it on there, I was like, oh, it looks really pretty. It looked neutral. When I got it, it's a little, which I don't know if it's showing up, it's a little bit pinkier in person than I was anticipating. But with the colors in this, it's totally fine. I'm like, there's a lot of those warm colors in there, so it's playing off of it really, really nicely. So I am just, I'll zoom in a little bit. So really, so you can kind of see where I started, like, that's kind of like the page cut there. So I just started on page 2, but at the bottom, this is what I got sick of doing. Whoop, that little band there. I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I need to switch it up a little bit. So that's when I went to the top, just to get something different in there. Yeah, I love it. The cardinals are a little bit pinkier than I would probably, if I ever did this again, which I am not, but now that I love long dogs, I'll probably do another long dog eventually. I'm probably not going to stitch. It's 9 pages long, so it's a big, hefty one. Here, I'll show you my piece of fabric is nice and big. Whoop. Yeah, I can't even get it in there. So it's going to be, she'll be a big girl, nice and big. But I'm like, if I did it again, I might switch up some of the colors. I might make the cardinals more red, but so far I'm like totally obsessed with this. Super fun. I'm doing the DMC conversion, so with how big it is and everything, I just went straight DMC 2/2 with it, and then the black, when I did 2/2, I didn't love it, so I went back over, so I'm doing 3/2 on the black, just to kind of make it, I didn't want to see through it at all. I really like it when it's really kind of pops in your face, especially with black. I'm like, ugh, you can see the fabric right through that if you're not careful. But yeah, so this is like my current baby that I cannot drop. And I'll probably work on this, just because I'm enjoying it, I'll probably work on this for the rest of April, reading. I'm tired today, I'm sorry. My allergies are crazy, probably sound weird. But I will work on this leading right up to Mania, and then come May, then I'll be working on a ton of new stuff, which I'm excited about those projects too. So yeah, so that was hoity-toity. And I guess that's like pretty much like all I've been working on. I mean, I kind of flew through that a little bit. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I realized in watching some videos that I have been calling them skeins, and everybody's saying skein, and I was like, oh, okay. Probably when I went into like Joann's and everything, they probably thought I was like, what? Like I had a weird accent or something. So apparently it's a skein, and apparently I'm an idiot. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing. I also realized in hoity-toity when I went to Hobby Lobby and I got all of my DMC thread, I had my daughter with me, who is napping right now, like the angel that she is. But she's 1.5, so she's getting, gone are the days where I can put her in the cart and it's great, and she just looks at things. Now she's tearing at things, she wants to try and get down. She's just a little bit more of a handful. So with a lot of the numbers on hoity-toity, I like reversed it, like I had dyslexia or something. So when I went to stitch things, I'd be like, oh, what did I just find? I I needed DMC 3829. I got DMC 3828. And when I looked at it, it looked a little like almost exactly like another one of the yellows, and it was supposed to be more of an orange yellow, and I was like, I just stabbed myself. It's like, dang it. So back to Joann's. I had to run errands this morning, so back to Joann's I went just to get one little thing. Also, when I was getting all this out to stitch, I like was kind of like lining everything up, and I had everything like nice and folded and put to the side. And all of a sudden I was like, where is that? And I look over and my daughter's going, hat. And she had this fabric on top of her head, but like completely unwound and with sticky toddler hands. I was like, oh my God, no, please. But it was fine. It's fine. I like when she sees me, like if I don't stitch when she's around just because it's distracting, when she sees me take it out, she always goes, ooh. So she always thinks it's very pretty. It's very interesting, but she's just interested. I'm like, she's a cutie patootie, but I love that she's kind of like, what are you doing? Because she doesn't see me work on it too often. So yeah, that's all my stitching. Only at 15 minutes. Gotta love that. I don't know. I mean, I know people do like hour long. If I was to do like if I had all my Mania stuff ready, this would be a big video because then I'd be showing you 4 or 5 other charts. But yeah, I figured this would be kind of quick. So that's all my stitching stuff. So I guess I have plenty of time. So I guess I'll do the Know Your Needleworker tag for those of you that care for that. I love when people do it. I'm like, I just think I watch people that I enjoy anyway, so it's really fun to get to know people a little bit more. Especially I've started to watch people that are going to StitchCon just so I can be a little bit more familiar. That way, if I sit with someone or something, I kind of know a little bit of a background about them. I'm getting super excited for StitchCon. I am. There have been times, it's just hard when you're a mom. You know the mom guilt, you feel bad spending money on yourself, you feel bad doing things for yourself, but I haven't taken time out for myself really since Abigail's born, so it's been over a year and a half now since I've really kind of just had a couple nights away to rest and recharge and do what I want. So I'm really looking forward to it, but of course my car's acting a little funny, and then I'm thinking, oh my God, my car needs to go in the shop, and then you just get the guilt, the money for StitchCon could be spent somewhere else, but my husband's like, don't you dare, do not cancel that. You are going to that. So I'm going. It'll be super fun, but it's a little outside. I'm like, even though I talk to people all day long, I'm introverted. So going to StitchCon with 400 plus people is a little bit intimidating. And who am I going to sit with? And I don't know anybody, but everybody that's gone before is it's fine. Everybody's friends, so I'll just go with it. And then I get to sleep in a room by myself in the quiet, which is I probably won't sleep well anyway, but it's just it'll be an experience, and I'm really, really excited about it. So yeah, that's all the stitching for now. I'll do the Know Your Needleworker. First one is, where do you live? I live in Lafayette, Indiana, which is right by Purdue University. So we are technically right next to, technically West Lafayette is the college town, and we're Lafayette, but it's 10 minutes away. So I would say technically we're living in a college town, but we live just enough in the country that we're not in all the hustle and bustle. So yeah, it's fine. I grew up in New Jersey, so I am an East Coaster. By nature. That's where I spent my first 22, 23 years of my life before I moved here, and now we've been here for about, I think it was 2012, so it's been 8 years, somewhere in there. So it's been a while. Now I'm okay, now I can tell I grew up in New Jersey. Not that my family really has accents anyway, but I've lost the accent. I think people are kind of rude out there. So it's just, I've kind of lost a little bit of that East Coast harshness. I have, which you guys all know, I have a daughter. That's what the next one was, kids. I have a daughter, Abigail, who is over a year and a half now. She is sassy and funny and just fantastic all around. She's super, super fun. And we just adore her. She is the best thing ever. We have pets too. We have 2 dogs and 2 cats. So we always say those are kind of our first kids, and then Abigail. So we always they're kind of like her older siblings. They all get along great. All of our animals are older now, because cats are 11, our dogs are 9 and 10. So they're all a little bit on the older side, unfortunately, all getting old together, which isn't fun to watch your animals and pets get old, but it's what happens. Work, I have been doing hair for 10 years now, so it's been a bit. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody, maybe it's just because I'm new to this, but I talk weird on here. I'm like, I always like make the ends of my words kind of go up, which is an Indiana thing, but I never do that in real life. Like talking to my husband or my daughter. It's weird. I'm trying to stop doing that, but yes, I have been doing hair for 10 years. I like it most of the time. Sometimes I don't. It's still customer service. It is what it is, but I am super fortunate that I get to go to work every day and I get to create things with my hands, especially with anybody that enjoys this hobby. They're a little bit artistic. They like to work with their hands. So I consider myself very lucky every day that I get to go and do what I enjoy and talk to people and make people feel good. So I really have a good time doing that. Luckily, I work 3 days throughout the week and then every other Saturday. So I only work 3 or 4 days a week, which has been the perfect balance between work and home. So I don't feel like I'm ever like really shortchanging anyone. My daughter, she goes to daycare. She loves the daycare she goes to. So it's really, really worked out really fantastic. Other hobbies, I don't have time for other hobbies right now. Like, I only have time for one hobby at a time. Before I did cross stitching, I did the big paint by numbers for years and years and years. I was saying, like, I could not do a cross stitch parade. I could do a paint by number parade because I probably have 9 or 10 of those things finished sitting in a back closet, it's kind of sad. They just kind of hang out back there and don't do anything. But whenever I go back there, I'm like, oh, some of them I like more than others. It's kind of the same as cross stitch. You're always going to have brands you like more than other brands. And I tried the diamond painting. I did it for maybe a couple weeks or so. I didn't do much. Of course I get a big one because I can't do anything small ever. So I just dived in and I got a huge one, and then I was like, I don't know if I like this. And now it's just been sitting in a back cabinet, like in the back of our house, and I haven't really touched it, but maybe I'll get back to that. But I tried it and it just really wasn't I just didn't enjoy it the same way I enjoy stitching, so I didn't want to spend my time on it. I mean, there's other ones, movies, TV shows. TV shows, my light just switched off. That's fun. But you don't need it. The stitching's off anyway. So the stitching is off. I'm not showing you the stitching, so you don't need the light. I got like a cheapo ring light just to give it, because I'm like, in the kitchen, I just get this like kind of this crummy overhead light, and you can see my bags, and it's not good, but it switches. I mean, it was cheap, so it just kind of switches on and off, but whatever. I don't need it anymore anyway. TV shows, me and my husband like The Good Doctor. We do watch that one with the autistic doctor. We like him a lot. But myself, I avidly watch Live PD, which I used to love Cops, and then this came out, which has only been out for maybe a year or two. No, 2 or 3 years. But yeah, that's the one I watch every week. And it's perfect for stitching because you don't have to watch it constantly, so I can just kind of be listening to it. When something interesting happens, I can look up, so it's perfect. I know a few other people watch Live PD too when they stitch. Books, I used to read. Again, I don't have time for it. If I probably took out a book, I would probably fall asleep right now. But I know I do want to get into audiobooks. I watch a ton, or listen to a ton of podcasts. So I should try and find some audiobooks that I like as well, because if I were to sit down with a book, I would just be out. Most of the time when I sit down, I'm out anyway. Music, we listen to mostly like worship music, so that's usually what we have going in the house. It's either worship or country. Those are our 2 go-to stations. If I'm in the car by myself, I do a lot of like 90s and 2000s pop, because that's when I was a teenager, so that's always super fun. All the good stuff. And then the last one was one word to describe yourself, which was an I'm like, that's always hard. I do that for work back in the fall. They wanted 3 words, and that was hard enough. I'm like, what the heck? So I'd probably one word I'd probably be independent. I'm pretty like, I'm fine doing things by myself, almost to a fault where it's hard to ask for help. So, but I will kill myself and try to do everything myself. I mean, I moved to the Midwest from New Jersey, and I've stayed and made a life for myself for the past 7 or 8 years, which is, I mean, my mom's side they're a big Italian family, but they have all stayed basically like within the same town that they all grew up in. So we've had family members like, oh, I'm moving to California. No, I'm back. So, I mean, people have kind of like gone and then come back again, but I mean, I'm here. When we're first kind of thinking about it, I told my husband, I am not moving to the Midwest. Like, that's an absolute, like, there's no way I'm leaving my family and moving away. But after a couple of years, I kind of softened to it, and now we're doing it. So independent, but I'm proud of that. So I can kind of find my own way and do my own thing and be secure in that. So that's why I mean, like, StitchCon it makes me nervous, but I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be fine. Yeah. So yeah, independent. That would be the one word before I get all babbly on everything. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's kind of, yeah. I just totally lost my train of thought. The other, which as long as I can figure it out, I was going to kind of just touch on other Flosstubers I've been watching, because I have like my set of people that I really enjoy. You know, like, I saw kind of like browse, and then you find the people you like their stitching. You kind of have things in common somehow, but there's some like commonality there. So, but sometimes like I'll watch like my set people, and then I'm like, oh, I want to find someone new, but I don't even know what to type in or where to go look for new people to watch. So then I'll jump onto someone, and I'll look like in the notes or somewhere if they like kind of link other people, and that's how I find people I like. So I figured, if you watch me and for some reason you really enjoy watching me, even though I feel like I'm rambling for a half hour, then maybe if you're looking for someone new, you can find someone that you like. So I'm all about that. So who have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of Amy Loves Toads. I love everything she stitches. She loves animals like I do. She's sweet, and she's just like a gentle soul, and I just love listening to her talk and seeing her stitching and hearing about her dogs. So I always enjoy whenever like one of the subscriptions, she's one of the people, when I see her, I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna happen very soon. Other people is Emily C. She has a lot of like the same, she finds cool things. That's where I got like, no, that's not where I got the long dog. The 3 Things Sampler, she stitched that, and I was like, oh my God, added to my wish list, and now it's sitting over. It's not part of Mania, but sometime this year I'm going to start that, because it is so stinking beautiful. So she stitches tons of things that ends up on my wish list, so I always like watching her. And all these people too, I also noticed that like a lot of the people I enjoy watching are like, they're not super long videos. It's like 30-40 minutes, which I'm all about, because I'm like, most of the time I'm like, okay, I have a half hour, baby's sleeping, I probably can fit that in. One of the random ones is Cross Stitch with Luda, who not only is she an absolutely stunning stitcher, she's super fast. I mean, her progress is like crazy, but she has a beautiful accent too, so it's really fun to listen to her talk, which I'm like, she just has like the prettiest voice, and I just love listening to her talk about everything. And it's somehow like oddly relaxing too, but she stitches like a lot of mirabilias and just really, not necessarily things that I do a lot, but definitely things that I can appreciate, and they're all absolutely beautiful. So I like watching her. Oh, I think I already said, hopefully I'll be able to link below. I'm gonna figure it. I always say that. I don't know if I can figure it out, and then it's always really easy. So I will hopefully have all these channels linked below this video, and then if you want to check anyone out, you absolutely can. Every Little Cross Stitch, which is Every Little X Stitch. She's just awesome. She does a lot of project bags, but she has this awesome parrot, which is really fun. It's usually like, you can either hear her talking in the background or she's right next to her, but she just seems super sweet, and she has kids, and she's about my age. So I've been having I just recently found her, I think through the StitchCon, because now I'm starting to watch people on there. I think I found her through there, but I really enjoy watching her. She's doing the Cricut collection, like all the months. She's working on those, which I have winter going, and I thought I was going to finish that, and I didn't yet. But it's sitting there, so it's fun to watch her progress. And then the last one is Stitching and Sound, Kyle from Stitching and Sound, he's a riot and a half. If you want to laugh, go. He is sarcastic and witty and funny and has a foul mouth, but that's fine. As long as my daughter's not around, that doesn't bother me at all. But he stitches a lot again. I mean, all these people are just so talented. That's why I'm like, when I show my stuff, I'm like, ugh. I don't feel like I stack up to you guys sometimes, because I'm like, everybody's like finishing stuff and beating stuff, but so talented. It's fun to listen to him talk and ramble, and he always with like not even there goes my train of thought again. I'm on allergy medicine, so I always get like a little groggy, but yeah, he always makes me laugh. So he's a good time as well. So those are all the people that I've been watching recently. If you have any other suggestions, let me know, because that's when it said TV shows. I'm like, well, I have like a couple TV shows that I watch regularly, but then I watch a lot of Flosstube. Like, I like to see what other people are working on, hear what's going on in their life. So I'm like, you only have so much time in the day, so much going on. So not too many TV shows right now. But yeah, that is it. I plan, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, I will be back in about 3 weeks to update you before the craziness of Mania starts, which is going to be super fun. I always love to see what people like pick to work on and how their progress is going. So, which I'm like, I always have like very type A. I always have a plan in my brain. So I'm like, okay, if I do a video the end of April, I can do one after Mania. So I'll do one like the end of May, early June. And then it'll be StitchCon the end of June. So then I can do one like right after StitchCon. So like I have them all like lined up, which I mean probably won't go to plan, but that's what I plan right now. So hopefully I will see you in about 3 weeks, and I'll show you what I have going on. And until then, keep stitching. Happy stitching, and I will talk to everybody soon. Bye!